There's a game being played right now. You're already in it. But here's the thing nobody tells you. You weren't given the rule book. And that's not an accident. The people who wrote the rules made damn sure you'd never see them. Because the moment you understand how wealth actually works, their entire advantage disappears. Let me show you something that'll make your blood boil. Rich people don't want you to understand money. They want you to fear it, worship it, chase it, but never truly understand it. Because understanding creates power, and power redistributes wealth. Think about it. You spend 12 years in school learning algebra you'll never use, but nobody teaches you about compound interest, asset acquisition, or how debt actually makes the rich richer. That's not an oversight. That's strategy. Keep the masses financially illiterate and they'll work 40 years for money instead of making money work for them. The beautiful part? They'll think it was their choice. Every broke person I know works harder than every rich person I know. Let that sink in. The hardest working people in society are often the brokest. Why? Because you've been programmed to trade time for money. Hourly wages, salaries, overtime. It's all the same trap with different packaging. Meanwhile, wealthy people figured out something else entirely. They don't trade time for money. They trade systems, leverage, and other people's time for money. You're running on a hamster wheel they built. And the faster you run, the richer they get. You think you're climbing. You're actually generating. Notice how wealthy people use different words. They don't have jobs, they have ventures. They don't spend money, they deploy capital. They don't buy things, they acquire assets. This isn't just fancy talk. It's a completely different operating system. When you change your language, you change your decisions. When you change your decisions, you change your results. Poor people ask, how much does it cost? Rich people ask, what does it cash flow? See the difference? One is focused on expense. The other is focused on return. That shift in thinking is worth more than any degree. Here's the sick genius of the system. They don't want you starving. Starving people revolt. They want you comfortable enough to stay quiet but broke enough to keep working. Just enough salary to rent a decent apartment, lease a car, buy a flat screen, and finance a vacation once a year. You feel successful because you're not struggling. But you're also never free. You're one layoff, one medical bill, one crisis away from disaster. That's not security. That's a hostage situation with comfortable furniture. And they need you to stay there because your survival depends on your obedience. Let me explain how they rob you in broad daylight. You take out a loan. Could be student debt, car loan, mortgage, doesn't matter. You think you're borrowing money to get ahead. But here's what's really happening. They're selling you your own future income at a discount. Every dollar you pay in INT. Rest is a dollar that could have compounded in your favor working against you instead. Meanwhile, the bank takes that interest and uses it to acquire more assets, generate more wealth, and loan more money to people just like you. You're literally funding the system that keeps you trapped. And they convinced you it's normal. You want to know what terrifies wealthy elites? It's not protests. It's not complaints. It's not even revolution. It's you understanding how to build wealth independently. The moment you stop trading time for money and start building assets that generate income without you, you become dangerous. You don't need their job. You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. You become a free agent in a system designed to keep you dependent. And when enough people figure this out, the whole power structure collapses. That's why financial education isn't in schools. They need workers, not owners. Fear is the most profitable emotion in human history. Fear of missing out. Fear of not having enough. Fear of falling behind. The entire consumer economy runs on manufactured anxiety. They show you what you don't have until you feel incomplete without it. New phone, bigger house, better car, designer clothes, status symbols designed to keep you spending, borrowing, and staying broke. Meanwhile, actual wealthy people drive old cars, live below their means, and invest the difference. They're not trying to look rich. They're trying to be free. And there's a massive difference between looking wealthy and being wealthy. Here's what changed everything for me. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and what you do with it. A person making $60,000 who saves and invests 20% will be richer than someone making $200,000 who spends it all. Wealth is measured in time, not money. How long can you survive without working? That's your real number. Most people can't last 90 days. Wealthy people can last forever because their assets cover their expenses. That's the game. Build assets, reduce liabilities, increase cash flow, repeat until free. Society praises hard work but shames wealth. Ever notice that? If you work 80 hours a week, you're dedicated. If you make money without working 80 hours, you're lucky, privileged, or suspicious. They romanticize the grind because the grind keeps you too tired to think, too broke to invest, and too scared to quit. Meanwhile, they demonize wealth accumulation as greed, so you never pursue it aggressively. It's psychological warfare. They need you to believe that wanting more is wrong, so you'll accept less. And the second you accept less, they win. Forget protest. Forget complaining about inequality. You want real rebellion? Build wealth anyway. Learn what they don't teach. Invest where they don't expect. Create income streams they can't control. Every asset you acquire is a vote against their system. Every stream of passive income is a middle finger to the idea that you need to stay small. They're counting on you staying distracted, broke, and obedient. So the most radical thing you can do is get educated, get disciplined, and get paid on your own terms. That's not selfishness. That's survival. Most people make 3 fatal errors with money. 1, they prioritize comfort over growth. 2, they confuse income with wealth. 3, they wait for permission to start. Let me destroy these one by one. Comfort is expensive. Every dollar spent on convenience today is $10 you don't have tomorrow. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you own. A high salary means nothing if you own nothing. And permission. Nobody's coming to give you permission to be rich. You take it by learning, building, and executing until the results are undeniable. Waiting is just another word for losing. Here's what's coming. The gap between the wealthy and everyone else is about to explode. Technology, AI, automation, all of it concentrates power in the hands of people who own assets and understand systems. If you're still trading time for money, 10 years from now, you're going to be economically invisible. The future belongs to people who build leverage. People who own businesses, IP, real estate, stocks, skills that scale. If you don't position yourself now, you'll spend the next 20 years wondering what happened while watching everyone else win. Stop playing their game. Build your own. Stop asking for raises. Create equity. Stop chasing jobs. Chase ownership. Stop buying liabilities. Stack assets. Stop waiting for security. Build freedom. The system is rigged, but only if you play by their rules. The moment you understand that wealth is a skill, not a gift, and power is a decision, not a birthright, everything shifts. You stop being a participant in their economy and start building your own. And that's the one thing they can't stop. Your decision to opt out and level up. Make it today.